Today, we're going to talk about a name many of you will probably recognize from one of Singapore's most famous restaurants, but we're going to peel back the layers to reveal the incredible man behind it all, Mu Ku Ramachandra. So our guide for this story comes from his profile in the Singapore Tamils 200, a special publication celebrating the bicentennial, and it tells the story of a man who was so much more than just a businessman. I mean, you've probably eaten at an Bhavan, right? Or at least walked past one. But the story of the guy who turned a single-family shop into an empire, well, it's about community, it's about language, and it's about an absolutely incredible amount of compassion. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about what he's most famous for, building a business that pretty much became a Singaporean institution. Now, Ananda Bhavan wasn't something he started from scratch. Nope. It was actually founded way back in 1924 by his grand uncle. But when Ramachandra took over from his father, he had a vision that was way bigger than just its one location on Selegie Road. I mean, just look at this timeline. For decades, it was just one shop. But under Ramachandra's leadership, the business just exploded. He brought Ananda Bhavan into the middle of the bustling Tekka market, to Side Alwi Road, and even into Changi Airport. He made it a true Singaporean landmark. And he didn't just grow the business, he gave it personality. To welcome a special guest at the Singapore Food Festival in Little India, he didn't just roll out a red carpet. Oh no, he brought in an actual elephant. It's just a perfect snapshot of his big, creative approach to everything. But his genius wasn't just about expansion. He was an innovator. He set up a central kitchen to make sure everything was consistent and efficient. But more than that, he was a community builder. He actually founded the Little India Restaurant Association. And he didn't see other restaurants as competition. Get this. He actively helped his competitors, like Brinda's, get started, because he believed that if everyone did well, the whole community would thrive. Okay, but here's where the story gets really interesting. Because for him, all that business success, that was just a platform for his true passion, fighting to make sure the Tamil language had its rightful place in everyday Singaporean life. He looked at all the small, daily moments where language really matters, so he campaigned like crazy to get Tamil, one of Singapore's official languages, added as an option on ATM screens. And he walked the talk in his own business. It wasn't enough to just have English menus. He made sure his menus were proudly and beautifully designed in Tamil. He even took it a step further. He used the walls of his own restaurants as a space for education, listing the health benefits of different foods in gorgeous Tamil script for everyone to see. And this just shows how ahead of his time he was. He saw technology not just as a business tool, but as a new way to champion his language. He actually pioneered the use of Tamil in SMS messages. Now, this deep commitment to his principles, it went beyond business and language. Ramachandra also had this profound, personal love for animals. This is just incredible. He had actually opened a non-vegetarian restaurant back in 1979, but his principles weren't just for show. His love for animals was so deep that he completely shut down that profitable business. He just couldn't bring himself to continue it. And we're not talking about just donating some money here and there. No, this was hands-on. He and his wife rescued injured animals, and they even rented an entire house just to care for over 100 rescued cats and dogs, hiring people just to look after them. But this story, this one just stops you in your tracks. He raised $5,000 to save one single monkey in India. And he didn't just wire the money, he flew to Delhi himself to personally make sure that animal was safe. Wow, that is an extraordinary level of dedication. His generosity just seemed to have no limits. From giving free meals to foreign workers right here in Singapore, to supporting orphanages and animal shelters back in Tamil Nadu, his whole life was about service. He was a real pillar of the community, serving on the boards of countless organizations. So, after he passed away in 2009, you have to wonder, what happens to a legacy that's so huge and so personal? Well, his spirit of giving is still very much alive, and it lives on through his wife, Bhanumathi. She continues to support the community and champion the causes that he cared about so much. She even sponsors an award for Tamil writers in his name. His impact absolutely has not faded. This slide really captures the full measure of the man. He achieved so much, a business empire, a loving family, but his dreams were even bigger. He really wanted to establish a dedicated building for all Tamil organizations to share, and to create a public Tamil library for everyone.
It's kind of poignant, a reminder that even for people who do so much, there's always more to dream of.
The story of Mukuraja Ramachandra isn't really just about restaurants or rescued animals. It's about how one person, driven by passion and principle, can create ripples that last for generations. And it kind of leaves us with a big question. What does it truly take to carry a legacy like that forward?